Kia ora koutou, day 81, and I didn't take any live trades again today. Most of the stocks on the scanner were out of my price range, and honestly, well, I just needed a break. So instead of forcing anything, I used the time to reflect on the past month and reset heading into July. Anyway, let's take a look at the charts, and we'll have a look over some of the stocks that I traded, paper traded. This was the stocks on the scanner this morning. LCFY was a good stock. COIN was a stock that was popped up early on in pre-market, and I think it was up yesterday as well. INB I watched but didn't take any paper trades on that, and BBLG I think I took a couple paper trades on that, and I think I may have left one open. Anyway, let's have a look at CYN. So CYN, I actually took a trade at pre-market open. I watched the pre-market open and add any stocks that pop at the start of pre-market to my watch list. And also I clear out stocks that are obviously not moving on the day and might have been moving the previous day. So CYN popped up at the start of pre-market, pulled back and then popped again, and I thought I'd take a position as it pulled back here around $19, held $19. So I got in on this red candle here around 1908, so sort of near the top of that candle. It did pull back, and it pulled back down to $18, but I held through that, and then it pushed all the way up to here, which was over $21. I actually took an early exit on it at 20.36. So I actually took an exit here, roughly, it was over $1 a share, and I just took it off the table there. Didn't think it was going to go that much further, but it did. It pushed all the way up to 21.41, and I probably should have waited for it to hit 21.41 and then pulled back sort of halfway down that candle. I would have got a slightly better fill exit on that one. That was my first trade, and that was even before I started trading, really. So then I went to bed and got a couple of hours sleep, and then got up and took an entry on CYN here at 6.53, and I think I got sidetracked here because I left it and just let it run, and this is not the type of trade I usually take, but I thought the stock was strong enough, and I just put it in just over $1 a share up here. It pushed up to 23.62. I got it at 23.40. And then it pulled back and pushed again up to 25.90. So this was a kind of, actually I've got my indicators on, that's why it's looking weird. Yeah. So I took the entry here looking for it to push higher, but then it broke down, and I just held through this breakdown, and it was slowly grinding up, and then took the exit up here. So not my usual strategy on that trade. Next stock I traded was BBLG. So this is probably more along the lines of my strategy that I usually trade. It had popped up, pulled back below VWAP here, and I took an entry in between VWAP and the 9 EMA. Around VWAP, 838 actually, I was around just below VWAP down here. And looking for it to hold above the 9 EMA. It did do that, and then it pushed, and I took an exit up here at 9.46. So way too early, way too early. So I was out around at the top of this candle here. It sort of pulled back and then pushed a bit, and I took an exit here at 9.46. I should have waited for it to break through that pivot point there and taken an exit a lot higher, but still a decent trade. 8.38 to 9.46, just over $1 a share, and was happy with that trade. I took a trade here, again looking at getting in as it was holding this level here at 8.62, but it didn't hold and it flushed down, and I took an exit here at 8.62 actually, sorry, getting this muddled around. Entered here at 10.07 and exited at 8.62, so very, not a good exit on that trade there as it dumped down. And then I took an entry here and I still haven't sold that, I'm letting it run. And the other one was LCFY. Actually, this is real. Yeah. This was sort of the strongest stock on the day. It held up and through to the open. And this was a good trade here. So this is the last trade I took, and this was the better trade. It came down here, was holding. I took it at the break around this pivot point here as it broke over this green candle, around 474. So I got in around just about here. Turn that mark off. So around about that level there on this candle was my entry. As it was breaking up over this pivot point, I was looking for it to break up to that previous high at 550, 551, and I got a bit scared and I got out at 533. So I was thinking that it would reject off that line there, and got out at 533. Still decent trade, around 30 cents a share, and there was the opportunity to buy back in here, which I was thinking about buying in as it broke through that green candle there at 525 for the next leg up. And it did actually put in a few more legs and was pretty strong. But I took some time to reflect last night, so I finished trading after that stock there, and had a look through my charts and the past month to reflect over the challenge that I'd done. And yeah, so I'll probably come back with those thoughts later on next week, as I've got a few things to sort out with my strategy and how I'm going to move forward with my account and what's next on the agenda. So even though I didn't take a live trade, I feel okay about that. This challenge has taught me a lot, and taking today to reflect felt like the right call. I'm thinking about how to improve my strategy going forward and what I need to change next month. Sometimes a reset is the best move you can make. I appreciate you following along. This journey isn't about trading every day, it's about learning, growing, and showing up with honesty. I'll see you in the next one. Hei te rā wiki.